Good morning, students. Today I am back with the topic fish farming under animal husbandry in the chapter Improvement in Food Resources. So, you all know that fish is a cheap source of animal protein for our food, and it is also rich in minerals. A very large section of Indian population uses fish as food, particularly those people who are living in the coastal area. And it is highly nutritious, and it has an advantage that it is very easily digestible. So fish can definitely be used for eradicating the problem of malnutrition in our country. As you know, fish liver oil is very much rich in vitamin A and D. There are two ways of obtaining fish. One is from the natural resource, what we call as capture fishing, and the other is by fish farming, what we call as culture fishing. So two ways of obtaining fish. One is from the natural source, what we call as capture fishing. The other is from the farming way, what we call as culture fishing. The water source of the fish can be either seawater or it can be fresh water, such as your rivers, ponds, lakes, etc. Now, fishing can be done both by capture and culture method in the marine and the freshwater ecosystem. In both these places, it can be done in both the ways, that is either by the capture method or by the culture method. Now, India's marine fishery resources include 7,500 kilometers of coastline, because India has a very big coastline and the deep seas beyond it. Popular marine fish varieties include your pomphrets, mackerel, tuna, sardines and Bombay duck. Marine fish, how are they caught? They are caught by using your fishing nets which are attached to the fishing boats, and this yields can definitely be increased by locating large schools of fish in the open sea using the latest gadgets like your satellites and eco sounders. Some marine fishes have got high economic value and are also farmed in the seawater. Now, different types of fish farming. So, accordingly, I have just put it under three heads. On the basis of the nature of the source of fish, we have the capture fisheries and the culture fisheries. On the basis of the nature of water sources, we have marine fisheries and inland fisheries. And on the basis of the types of fishes, we have fin fisheries and shell fisheries. Now here you can see the picture of capture fishery. How fish is caught directly from the natural resources and how people are carrying it on their shoulders. Here you can see how the fish has been caught and it is in the net. This is another picture whereby the culture method is shown. In the ponds, a particular area is captured and then there this culture method is being practiced. That is very nicely shown over here. Another culture method here is shown in this picture also very nicely, so you get an idea what is culture fishery. Now, on the basis of the nature of water sources, as I have told you, that is we have two types, that is your marine fisheries and inland fisheries. India has a vast scope of marine fishery because it has got 7,500 kilometers of coastline, and marine waters provide profitable fishing area, that is your Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, and then there are many bays and gulfs. So all these areas are utilized for this marine fisheries. And these marine table fishes are caught by fishing nets and gears operated by fishing vessels. A vessel is that drags a net behind it. It is called as a fishing trawler. And such fishing trawlers fitted with electronic fish locating devices are used for boosting deep sea fishing methods. The modern technologies for catching more fish includes your eco sounders and use of satellites. Now in inland fisheries, fish production is in the freshwater system and the brackish water, like your estuaries and lagoons. Now all of you know estuaries and lagoons. That is a place where the water gets salty because the fresh water and the sea water gets mixed. So here we have a different variety of fish. Now, what I was telling you, the marine fishery resources are including 7,500 kilometers of coastline and deep seas beyond it. Different varieties of your marine fish is shown over here, and what are the methods that are used for catching them: fishing nets, fishing boats, eco sounders, and use of satellites. Now, in the inland fisheries, the freshwater resources include your canals, ponds, reservoirs, rivers, lakes, etc. And the brackish water resources are those where the sea water and the fresh water mix together, such as your estuaries and lagoons. And there, the water is salty. So the variety of fishes available over there will be totally different. So while capture fishing is also done in the inland water bodies, the yield is not very high, not satisfactory. So most of the fish production from these resources comes through your aquaculture. And what is aquaculture? That is a culture whereby the animals such as your fishes, along with them prawns, then your lobsters, crabs, shrimps, oysters, they are all grown in the available waters, and it is an important means of increasing the country's food output. India has a great potential for the aquaculture, mainly because it has a very long coastline and numerous inland water spreads. Then we have the fish culture, sometimes done in combination with a rice crop, that is in the paddy fields. So here what happens, the fish culture is called as intensive fish farming, and major share of fish production from inland resources is through aquaculture. But then along with that, this integrated fish culture system is also there, where it with agriculture farming, including your paddy, come fish culture. So the fish species that can be stocked in our paddy fields includes your katla, then labiorohita, then mrigel, then clarius, then channa species. These species are why they are used, because they are able to live in the shallow waters of paddy fields, and also they have a special capacity that they can tolerate high temperature and also turbidity. Turbidity means the water is not very fresh, it is very muddy. So those kinds of conditions they can tolerate. That's why they can be grown in the paddy fields. So, and then we have another variety, what we call as a composite fish culture system. Here, both the local and the imported fish species are used together. At least 5 to 6 species of fish is used in a single pond in one small area, and the selection is done in such a way that they do not compete with each other for food habits. That means they all have a different eating pattern. They have their different likes and dislikes. As a result, what happens, whatever food is available in that particular area, all that is utilized fully, and that increases the fish yield from the pond, because the production per unit area increases manyfold. This type of culture is also called as polyculture. Polyculture of fish. So composite fish culture is also known as polyculture, and the yield goes up to 8 to 9 times as compared to monoculture, where only one variety of fish is cultivated. Mainly this is done because these fishes have got complementary feeding habits, and also they do not harm each other, and they constitute a very good combination. Here again it is shown that on the basis of the type of fishes we have the fin fisheries and the shell fisheries. Now fin fisheries means the finned fishes. Those include your rohu, katla, mrigal, and the shell fisheries means includes the capturing and management of crustaceans like your prawns, crabs, mollusks like oysters, mussels. And you all know that oysters are cultivated for pearls. So in this slide, the composite fish culture is explained very well, that in this composite fish culture, we have got a combination of 5 to 6 species of fish living in a single fish pond. Each one has got a different food habit, so they do not compete with each other for food. And these fishes, they utilize all the food that is available in that particular area. Now example I have given here, katla is a surface feeder. Rohu feeds in the middle, so it is called as a column feeder, and mrigal is a bottom feeder. So these three varieties of fish is taken in the composite fish culture, and we combine this with a set of another 3 kinds of fish, which is a exotic breed. Exotic in the sense all imported from China. Silver carp is a surface feeder and it feeds on your phytoplanktons. Grass carp feeds on all the macro vegetation, large size vegetation, weeds and aquatic plants that is not used by others in this group. Others will not feed on this category of food. And in this group, the common carp is an omnivorous bottom feeder. So all of them have got a different fooding habit and they all are exotic breeds. So 3 exotic breeds combined with 3 Indian breeds. So 6 species of fish living in the same area, that is in the same area of the pond. Now in this picture demonstrates the composite fish culture system. You can see katla at the top, rohu in the middle and mrigal at the bottom. So the composite fish culture very well demonstrated in this diagram. Now all the fish, when they grow together, so they do pose a problem. That is, the main problem with composite fish culture is that they all breed in the monsoon season. So if the fish seed is collected, then what happens? They all get mixed up with one another. So a major problem is the lack of availability of good quality of seed. And so to overcome this problem, we have found out a method, and that method is called hormonal stimulation. And this hormonal stimulation method has ensured the supply of pure fish seed in the desired quantity. And in this hormonal stimulation, exactly what is done, the hormone from the pituitary gland is injected into the body of the fish, and that helps them to mature. That is, the reproductive organs mature early, and then that helps them to produce the eggs, and that way, even if it is not in monsoon, then also we are able to get the fish seed, and that way the culture can be done at our own convenient time. So that is what is done in hormonal stimulation. Extracts of the pituitary is injected into the body of the fish, and then the fish starts, the reproduction starts, and they start producing eggs and sperms, and accordingly fertilization, and then we start getting the small fingerlings and fingerlets, and ultimately they grow into large sized fishes. Now you should know few facts about Indian fisheries. That is, total fish production in India, we are 7th in position in the world in terms of fish production, and in terms of marine fish production we are 10th. We are at 10th position in the world. Now we have talked a lot about fish. Now we should also know what are the different kinds of diseases that may infect these fish. So we have the bacterial diseases like your fin rot and tail rot disease, where the fin and the tail starts getting rotten. Then formation of sores and ulcers in the body. That also happens because of a bacterial infection. Then fish do suffer from viral diseases like your lymphocystis, where the swimming pattern of the fish ultimately changes and small pearl-like structures develop on their fins and tail. Then fish do suffer from cancer as well. They also fall a prey to cancer. So these are some of the diseases which we find in the fishes. So that's all for now. Thank you.